brothers, we are gathering the Covenant because a call has come out. Lieutenant Grek has sent instructions for us to gather some more teams for Varek's arena.
The Emperor's Maw is back?
It is. It's been a while, but it's time for us to get back to work again. I've compiled a list of potential individuals. We need teams of 5 from the planets in each of our alliances. Bound by fate, driven by desperation, or forced by fear, they fight not for glory, but for survival, and they will do it together until the end. Imperials, Chaos, Xenos, all will be gathered. And so, as the galaxy watches, the champions are prepared. Each world will be drawn against another world, and we can see where we will need to deliver them as the draw for the Emperor's Maw begins. Each of their champions will be drawn with a character to represent them in this automated battle to victory. In 1 week's time, we will see the first round matches. Who will lead their teams to glory, and the second round. And now, the first round draw. In match 1, from the Xenos world of Glaket, a seemingly desolate rock, but which is in fact a cunningly camouflaged Necron stronghold, its lifeless appearance belies the deathless menace waiting to rise from its depths. Our champions are Harris 9 on Immospec, the Duke of Cudlee on Death Leaper, Bad Jesus on Onshi, Fox 1995 on Aleph Null, and Nicholas Davis on Anufet, and they will be up against another Xenos world, Zertz. This is a barren desert world littered with ancient Xenos ruins. The Eldar occasionally return here, drawn by the planet's psychic resonance and forgotten treasures, and our motley crew are Rory Gineffect on Winged Prime, Mark Donny on Tank Smasher, Jack Eliton on Jane Zar, Ewan Hamilton on Morgan Ra, and Callum Smith on Shadow Sun. In match 2, from the Imperial planet of Gamma 10, a desolate void world surrounded by an unusual halo of debris and wreckage, it serves as a strategic naval yard with its massive shipyards producing Imperial fleets to patrol the segmentum. The heroes are Moore Agent Mordon on Vindicta, Ian Blanc on Thaddeus Noble, Alan Smith on Castellan Creed, Ronan Scuboro on Morven Val, and Einar Beatty on Varro Tagarius, and they will be facing another Xenos world, Drukit, which is a rain-soaked jungle world constantly lashed by storms, and the cunning Kroot use its dense foliage as cover for their deadly ambushes, thriving in the perpetual downpour. And the heroes are Werfax on Thutmose, Louis Miguel Prado Patino on Snotflogger, Only One J Powell on Zaibia, Tobias Henrich on Revas, and Jeff Stewart on Tyrant Guard. In match 3, from the Imperial planet of Lavam 8, this is a volcanic death world with a unique flora and fauna that thrives in extreme conditions. The Adeptus Astartes occasionally recruit from its hardened populace, bred to endure fire and fury, and the champions are JHG 4852 on Aryak, Tuck Snow on Asmodee, Vasto on Ragnar, Bread on Tangida, and Truthbomb on Exeter Row. And they will be facing the first Chaos world, Garaxis Amber, and this world gleams with cursed golden hues, its surface covered with petrified forests and amber-tinted seas. Beneath its shimmering beauty lies an ancient labyrinth that traps and consumes the souls of intruders, and its champions are Paintball on Yazagor, FMT SMK on Angrax, Nicholas Peasley on Typhus, Joseph Chartrand on Pestillion, and Richard Mulder on Thaumachus. In match 4, the Xenos world of Chuchter is an exodite elder world where the inhabitants ride massive megafauna across its vast steppes. Its skies glow with strange auroras that hint at a latent psychic energy, and the champions are Unappreciator on Athana, Kaiju Shorts on Shosil, Dark Apostle on Dark Strider, George's Arch on Parasite of Mortrex, and Vanja Petrovic on Makotep, and they are facing the Imperial world of Malbibrius' Bastion 11, a sanctuary world for the weary defenders of the Imperium. Its chapels and cloisters provide respite and spiritual renewal. It is heavily defended to ensure this holy retreat remains untainted, and the champions are Alex Tsenk on Incisus, Maxwella Follett on Titus, Matt H on Marnius Calgar, Yellow God on Commissar Yarrick, and Donald Petriich on Brother Butchered. In match 5, another Chaos world, Krogar Vermilion, which is a volcanic hellscape where rivers of molten rock carve through demon-infested mountains. Its warbands revere the molten heart of the planet as a living embodiment of Khorne's fury, and the champions are Fandos RB on Archimatos, Trunkage on Harkin Worldclaimer, Mike Spillun on Ahriman, Rickle on Azkor, and the Elder Pete on Abraxas, and they're facing another Chaos world, Kaldel Pus, a toxic and diseased swamp world, plagued by writhing mists that twist flesh and bone. It serves as a breeding ground for Nurgle's foul creations, with unholy spawn lurking in every bog, and their champions are Malign VS on Volt, Joe 40k on Corodius, the Real Lagmaster on Maladis, Champ PCPR on Abaddon, and Jose de Jesus Velasquez Velas on Yazagor. In match 6, another Xenos planet, Loviate, which is a primitive world inhabited by resilient orc tribes who constantly wage brutal wars across its tundra. The planet's icy winds howl with the ferocity of their endless wah, and the champions are Omniver Lupus on Bosk Olgarts, Zetherion on Neurothrope, Mark W on Eldrion, Ow My Ankle on the Pattermine, and Austin Roberts on Holland, and they're facing another Imperial stronghold, Ritzonius Beta 9, which is a research world under the strict watch of the Inquisition. Hidden among its sprawling labs are forbidden xenotech experiments, guarded by battle-hardened Skitari cohorts, and the champions are Thickboy Beef on Nial, Adam Shondel on Brother Yeagar, Srandi on Tiark, Hot Dice on Mephiston, and Jorn FM on Isabella. In match 7, we see another Imperial planet, Buscateri 5, a mining world rich in adamantium and ceramite deposits. Its subterranean cities are plagued by harsh working conditions and the ever-present threat of Xenos raiders, and the champions are Matt IM on Exeter Row, Sort of Purple on High Marshal Helbrecht, Stefan S on Ulf, Franz Den Art on Ancient Thoriad, and 2+ Darkness on Vitruvius. And they're going up against another Imperial planet, Aurelia 3. This is known as the Cradle of Saints. The Shrine World is home to countless relics and cathedrals. Pilgrims flock here from across the galaxy seeking blessings and spiritual guidance. And their champions are DZP on Castell and Creed, Eric Pettersson on Morven Val, Joseph Lee on Varo Tigarius, Ostrowolf on Incisus, and Jay Pariuri on Titus. In match 8, the Xenos planet of Malarkey, a deceptively chaotic world of shifting terrain and gravity anomalies believed to be a Necron tomb world testing the patience and sanity of intruders before revealing its horrors. And the champions are Alistair on Calandis, Purokazi on Gibbascraps, Lyle Swanson on Thutmose, Monodin on Snotfloga, and Franco Healy on Zybia, and they're facing the Imperial world of Sinchidder's Forge 6, a Mechanicus Forge world where endless manufactorums belch smoke and churn out sacred machines. The tech priests here are said to hold forbidden knowledge of pre-heresy technologies, and the champions are Johnny Mansberger Jr. on Matanio, Adrian Gorniak on Sword Brother Godswill, Chaos on Actus, Prasanna Siva Kumar on Sarkwell, and Patrick Buch on Rosita. Moving to match 9, we have the Xenos planet of Skunnert, a dark and swampy world populated by feral orcs and their squid companions. The bog teems with life, but the planet is nearly impassable due to its treacherous terrain, and the champions are Drizzo on Snapareka, Miguel Neri on Imospec, Jamusin on Deathleaper, Rock the D on Onshi, and Super Aid on Aleph Null, and they're facing the Chaos planet of Momon Viridian, a verdant world corrupted by chaos. Its lush green jungles teem with predatory plants and mutated beasts. Deep within its heart lies a living shrine to Slanesh, exuding temptations that break even the purest of souls. And its champions are Larry Hudson on Angrax, A. Evans on Typhus, ID Sharpie on Pastilian, Jetil Opseth on Thaumachus, and Screaming Eagle on Archimatos. In match 10, the Chaos planet of Hezban Black is shrouded in eternal darkness. This planet is a haven for sorcerers who draw power from its shadows. Its skies are filled with whispers, driving the weak to madness and the strong to unspeakable acts. And the champions are Commander Panda on Karn, Pilot in Trouble in Volt, Mr. Sverziak on Corodius, Girgos Spadelidis on Maladis, and Mitchell Banks on Abaddon the Despoiler, and they are facing up against the imperial planet of Denko Syria 1, which is a fortress world bristling with orbital defences and massive gun platforms. Its surface is a maze of fortified bastions standing ready to repel any chaos incursion, and their champions are Alexander Braco on Ragnar, Joe Shark on Brother Butchered, Todd Krellin on Tangida, Tacticus Saurus Rex on Nial, and a belly of an army on Brother Jaeger. In match 11, the Xenos planet Aquines, a mysterious planet entirely encased in shimmering semi-organic structures, believed to be a Tyranid bioship crash site, it is now serving as a spawning ground for new monstrosities. And the champions are JKGM on Onshi, Bayard on Aleph Null, Boy Bibimbap on Anufet, Jonathan Paul on Athana, and Rob White on Shosil. And they're facing another chaos planet, Kargas Tartan, a planet of shifting geometric chaos. Its terrain constantly rearranged by the whims of Tjench. Mortal minds cannot comprehend its kaleidoscopic horrors, making navigation a near impossible feat. And its champions, Mikkel Yaka on Rask, Mark 01 on Nauseous Rotbone, Chaos Swarm on Macer, Deathman on Toth, and Dario Wish on Karn. In match 12, the chaos planet of Titarius Red, a crimson wasteland perpetually drenched in the blood of its eternal wars, where massive demon forges churn out hellish machines to fuel the chaos warbands that dominate the surface, and its champions are Silver Slug on Abraxas, Jisha's Mad on Rask, Mike Dye on Nauseous Rodbone, Neil Davidson on Macer, and Psychedelic Lasagna on Toth. And they face a Xenos planet, Irenaceous, a hostile death world where spiked flora and vicious fauna dominate. Its insectoid Xenos inhabitants are known for their hive-mind intelligence and bioengineered weaponry, and the champions are Asher Morales on Patermine, Lauren Suzescu on Holland, Sergio Chaos on Snapareka, Piers Maura on Immospec, and Gilliar on Deathleaper. As we're getting close to the end, the next planet is Seliquent, a Tau Sept world known for its advanced communication hubs and sleek alien architecture. Here the Ethereals broadcast their messages of the greater good across nearby systems, and their champions are Robert Kosinius on Magan Ra, Parker Harris on Shadow Sun, Ivan Yasso on Boss Golgorts, Raymond Fernandez Arazagoeta on Neurothope, Mequinite on Eldrion, and they're against the Imperial planet Torrentos' Hope 7, which is a border world constantly under threat from orc incursions. Despite its precarious position, its defenders are fiercely loyal and renowned for their unyielding resolve, and their champions are Astmaster on Lucian, T. Riley on Certus, Bog City Fanatic on Azrael, Magano on Celestine, and Paul Donahue on Bellator. In match 14, the Imperial planet of Galifed's Bastion 4, a hive world boasting towering spires that scrape the heavens. Its billions of citizens labour ceaselessly to churn out weapons and armour for the Imperial Guard, and its champions are Midnight Hoss on Marnius Calgar, A.F. Anderson on Commissar Yarrick, Minister Terence D. Walsh on Baraquel, El Pedre on Kut Skoden, and Louis N.Y. on Sybil Divine. And they're against the Xenos planet Oxter, a hive-like labyrinthine planet where insectoid Xenos thrive in bioluminescent underground caverns. The tunnels pulse with an otherworldly energy that repels Imperial scanners. And the champions are Antrek Sertna on Anufet, 6 Million Teeth on Boss Golgorts, Hub ND on Shosil, Robert Villeneuve Posada on Darkstrider, and Adam Polyak on Parasita Mortex. In the penultimate match, match 15, we see the Xenos planet Farvyabin, which is a water world with deep oceans concealing a reclusive, aquatic Xenos race. Their bioluminescent cities emit eerie lights beneath the waves, warning off unwelcome visitors. And the champions are Gavin Sullivan on Darkstrider, Red Ghost on Parasite of Mortrex, M. Volin on Makotep, Rain Karanen on Kalandis, and the Frenemy Podcast on Gibbascraps. And they are up against another Xenos planet, Gizabozi, an elder maiden world shrouded in ethereal beauty. Its verdant plains and crystalline structures mask deadly wraith constructs ready to protect it from trespassers. And the champions are Louis Varela on Makotep, Kaizugam on Kalandis, McBrandon on Gibbascraps, A. Welsh on Athana, and Matthew Payne on Harkin the World Claimer, who seems to be a Xenos in disguise. And the final match between the Imperial planet Cardretri 2, a lush agri-world providing vital resources to the Imperium's war effort. Its endless plains of grain and livestock are protected by a zealous PDF devoted to maintaining its purity, and the champions are T. Ricky McDonald on TR, and Arky on Mephiston, Raphatron on Isabella, Portal Supper on Vindicta, and John Jensen on Thaddeus Noble. And finally, they are facing the Xenos planet Pandiculation, which is a gas giant with floating cities inhabited by a trade-oriented Xenos species. Their markets are filled with rare technologies, but every deal comes with a dangerous hidden cost. And the champions are Leiron PK on Revas, Purely Coincidental on Tyrant Guard, Akin Heat Paladin on Winged Prime, Sir Perfect Prime on Tank Smasher, and Chitin on Jane Czar. And so there we have it. The draw is concluded, and we will now gather the champions together. The first matches will begin in 2 days' time, so make sure you're tuned in on Sunday, December the 22nd at 1800 Central European Time. We will see you then. Do not miss it.